Hi there, Mark Jamin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department. Let's talk about this pandemic. It's time for the weekly update. In this video, numbers are wavering up and down as there is more and more evidence across the country that cases are headed upwards. In the United States, there are now 9 states in the red compared with 5 last week. And note particularly the increased red in the Northeast and Upper Midwest. And there are 11 states in the yellow as opposed to 9 last week, so there's some variability around. For our neighboring states, notice all the red in Tennessee and South Carolina that's adjacent to western North Carolina. And you can see that the numbers there have been flat or maybe a little bit of a change overall. And that certainly matches with what we're seeing across the country. North Carolina up just a little bit after weeks of falling numbers. And in North Carolina, 6 counties now in the red, 29 in the yellow. And that includes Swain and Graham with 2 of the 4 lowest rates in the state. In western North Carolina, Buncombe and Transylvania with good decreases and now have moved down into the yellow range. Hendersonville also with a good decrease over the last week, but remaining in the orange. On the other hand, Macon and Clay had increases that have pushed them from the yellow back up into the orange. Testing, North Carolina, still below the 5% threshold. The big moves this week were Jackson and Macon, whose test positivity rates went back above 5%. And note Henderson County now below 5%. As of Friday, Haywood County is at 3,995 cases for the pandemic. That's an increase of 42 over the last week. And also notice how flat the curve has gotten in terms of trying to estimate where we could be even at the end of April, which is not a lot more than where we are now. We have been seeing between 20 to 30 new case increases over week until the past few days, so you'll notice that blip up. It is worth noting that Haywood County is still in the yellow, but with an increase from last week, so not sure where that's going. Of interest, the last 60 cases over the past 10 days, as far as age ranges, 2/3 of those have been in the 20 to 64 age range. 12% greater than 65, 15% between 10 and 21 ages, and only 2 cases in less than 10. So if you're wondering the impact of vaccination so far, this is not too different from what we have been seeing prior to vaccinations. And church, work, and families are where we continue to see the infections spread. Deaths, none new this week. We are at 94 overall for the pandemic, but we are awaiting confirmation on 5 others. And Haywood Regional, between 0 and 4 COVID-related admissions over the past week. And as we all know, cases come up first, hospitalizations and deaths lag that. So as we have seen, everyone around us has gradually flattened or had an increase. But we're also seeing some with decreases this week. Haywood County not being one of those, as we appear to be experiencing perhaps an increase in cases that everyone had had before us. And we could just be seeing a wavering of the cases up and down. We've seen that before. Or this could be the beginning of another surge. But of interest, Easter and spring break are yet a week away. And you may recall the winter surge actually started a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, so that there were enough people already infected around the county so that with the Thanksgiving gatherings, there were enough that it just really accelerated that. And the other holidays just built upon that. So we can prevent this same thing happening again. You could prevent this. Many states and locales are relaxing their guidance, but are only doing so by relying on everyone being even more vigilant about the protective public health measures. Swiss cheese matters even more, even with the vaccinations increasing at a good pace. So stack your slices, be well, and be careful, especially right now.